Alright, so I can dig in the center of this from where I'm sitting, but someone else would need to. I would suggest other people scatter away from the area that isn't under the cover of the trees while I do this.
And you just like pick up like handfuls of dirt instead.
I mean, I guess if they weigh less than 10 pounds, but shovel seems more useful to me.
I know, but I'm just afraid of like, something metal touching whatever's down there.
Not touching it. So yeah, I'll telekinetically mage hand the shovel and start digging in the center of that area.
Now, I don't know what the sensation feels like, but you would be able to tell if a shovel that you're holding with a mage hand hit something solid, like striking rock or stone. Obviously, you wouldn't feel it in the muscles of your own hands, but you would feel it in the magic that you're extending outward.
The muscles of your mind.
So when you see sparks hit the metal of the shovel, but you don't feel it striking anything solid, you realize that it's just experienced one of those small discharges, and you're pretty sure that if you continue to dig in that spot, you're going to run into the same situation that Edmont found himself in when he was digging with his hands.
Let's clear away the dirt from that area and don't dig any deeper.
Hold on, I have something else I want to do. Ekon pulls some incense out of his pack, sits down with his head bowed, and spends 10 minutes casting divination.
Casting divination?
As a ritual.
Evie, what is he doing?
And then I will ask Air what the outcome would be of digging in this area in order to expose the whatever is going on here.
You are consuming 25 gold worth of your incense for this.
Yep. 2.5 familiars.
The thing that is not air answers you once again and tells you, dig as hard and as deep as you like with your little shovel. You have not the strength to release the otherworldly energy pent up in this soil.
And I will relay all of that to my family.
So is that a challenge or a warning?
Well,
Yes.
It wasn't there. That's the strange part, but also, I would say it actually seems like a warning.
Plot twist, Ekon is now a warlock.
It's that multi-class time.
It was a divine warlock, right?
Yeah.
I think my charisma is 5.
I feel like divine warlock is stretching it a little bit. Like, that's just a priest at that point.
Well, the difference between a warlock and a priest is one has a sugar daddy and the other a employer.
Okay, I guess that's true.
I think the divine warlock is intended like for a powerful angel or a fallen seraph or something rather than a god.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Ekon, why don't you try and use your mage hand and shovel to find the actual outline of where this phenomenon occurs?
It sounds to me like it might
good.
be safe to dig, is what it sounds like.
Really?
No, it sounds like if we're gonna dig, we're just gonna keep releasing these things.
Well, they said dig as much as you want.
You can't release the pent up energy.
I think he means can't release all the pent up energy, which means we're.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like there's some sort of creature or force that's imprisoned under the ground here, and if we keep digging, we'll just. My read on it is if we keep digging, we'll just keep running into more of these things, but we won't actually make any progress in terms of doing anything about that creature or energy that's sealed here.
Well, what I'm thinking is that whatever these carriages are, they're running along this energy as maybe a road of some kind.
Probably. So let's find out where that road is. Let's get an outline of where the phenomenon actually occurs.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to.
Okay. I guess I can just drag the shovel along the ground to try and mark out where the sparks start and end.
Okay. This is going to be a long and laborious process. But if you're willing to commit to it for pretty much the rest of sunup today, until this evening.
I mean, it beats getting electrocuted 5 more times.
Does it?
How late after the sunset did the electricity arc across this place last night?
The sun had set all the way, and you were well into nighttime.
Okay, yeah, so I just don't want to be here. A little bit after sunset, we should get out of this valley. But yeah, for right now, I can spend... I mean, also, like, if you don't dig too deeply, other people can maybe help. Do you have, like, any insulated digging tools, Genie?
I have.
Wood is an insulator.
Let me
Sorta?
get my. I mean, there's like, I have the capability to shoot lightning out of my out of a wand. I'm pretty sure they know what insulators are. Let me see. All right, so this is what I have in my bag of holding. Let me see if tell me if you think this will help. All right, I have a 50-foot of rope, a bedroll, a crowbar, a cask of fine Barovian wine, the pieces of a crate that we doused with holy water.
Actually, the consecrate sounds good. Get some planks from the consecrate.
I forgot about the consecrate.
So
Is that going to help us?
while Jeannie is going through her bag of holding, Victor is going to pull out the very large Grey Wolf side gloves that he has not yet burned.
Oh, they don't fit you.
Oh, they don't?
I mean, you could put your hands in them, but you have no manual dexterity while wearing these gloves. These gloves were made to fit the Squelcher Lord's hands.
Oh, okay.
It's
So
fine.
no,
He's just digging. They're just mitts. You're just digging.
yeah, I just need something that I think will protect me from electricity.
Yeah, we could use the planks to consecrate just to scrape along the ground. It doesn't sound like it's particularly hard packed or anything.
So,
They're consecrated wood.
so to be clear, you guys are trying to find the outline of where these electrical discharges are happening while trying
Right,
to avoid digging so deep that you're going to release more creatures. Is that my understanding?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Ekon, you are using Mage Hand and a shovel. Victor, you are trying to use the Squelcher Lord's oversized gloves.
With his own shovel.
Oh, so you also
I don't-
have a shovel. Okay, so
Yeah.
what is everybody else using?
Well, I don't have anything else. I gave my shovel away already.
Okay, so you're not...
Orson will use his spear.
Okay.
It's magic.
The butt
I-
of the spear.
I do not have a shovel. I have a crowbar. I don't think that's going to help.
I have a grappling hook.
Well, a crowbar might help,
Ball
because all Ekon is doing is like scraping the topsoil and noting the
Oh.
points where he sees discharge against the metal of the shovel.
Oh, well, I could use my crowbar for that, I guess.
I have a spare crowbar if anyone needs.
I have a
I'll take
crowbar
it.
as well.
Okay, so all of you are using a metal implement then. Okay. Make some checks on my end.
I
Well,
mean, my shovel has a wooden handle, for what it's worth.
Does anybody have a passive perception worse than 10? Including
worse
Orson.
than.
Because you have to be really, really dense to not see sparks shooting off of the metal device you're holding.
Okay, so maybe using a metal object is
I
not
don't
a
think
great
so.
idea.
Okay.
I mean,
What's Orson's?
I'm good.
I think everyone's over 10.
I'm good.
Yeah.
passive perception is
Strength and
13.
Charisma
Yeah.
is bad, but I think
Yeah.
everyone has at least some wisdom.
Okay. This is the path that you're more or less able to determine. Along the eastern wall, you find great variance in the electricity in the soil. You guys are very careful not to dig so much soil out that you risk cracking into what must be a wellspring underneath. But you notice that there's great variance along the eastern wall, but as you go to the west, it seems to localize on one point along the western cliff face. And it's not on the cliff face itself. It's about, as you can see, about 15 feet removed. So there are even points along this western wall where you don't find electricity in the soil at all, such as where Edmont is currently standing. So as the sun starts to set, as you guys are starting to get hungry for your evening meal, this is about what you've narrowed down.
All right.
And what I want to do is I want to put a source of light in the vicinity of this thing.
What kind of source of light?
Edmont pulls out like a torch, looks to his brother.
Just cast light on your torch so it doesn't have to burn. Edmont, do you want to try digging here? I think you're the best at dodging lightning.
Why don't you just take the shovel and just put the shovel in the ground and dig with it telepathically or telekinetically?
No, that's another option. Because I have protection from lightning, but it's a fairly high level slot and takes concentration.
Stand back when you do it.
Yeah, I'm standing as far away from that as I could dig. I would say everyone else should also stand back and not be
Stand
arranged
back.
in any sort of lines.
Edmund, you're digging in this point here?
No, Ekon is. Edmund's not going to dig anymore.
Well, that's
Okay,
Edmont.
fine.
But if this doesn't work, my suggestion is Edmont trying it with protection from lightning. Yeah, I'll start shoveling there.
You don't get any discharge from the area. You're doing this at range with your mage hand, yes?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
After a few inches in the soil, which is a little denser and a little tougher than the earth throughout the valley, you hit something hard.
I'll dig around it to try and uncover as much of that hard thing as I can.
You find what looks to be a circular plate underneath an inch or so of topsoil. Something buried here.
Detect
You found a
magic.
movie projector.
It's not magical, or at least it doesn't have an appreciable amount of magic other than just the faint traces left over from the storm you witnessed last night. But set into the ground, you see a circular copper or brass plate. And you spend a few moments scraping the rest of the topsoil. There's writing around the outside of this circular disc. It's about 6 or 7 feet across, written in a language that you don't understand.
Who wants to?
Orson, why don't you cast
learn-
comprehend languages?
In the center of the disc is what looks like just the base, maybe the bottom inch or so, of a pole, a metal pole made of the same metal as the disc, but it's been sheared off.
I will take 10 minutes and cast Comprehend Languages as a ritual.
Okay.
I wish I had a ritual spell casting.
Yeah, I would have to use my house slot. You know what? It's worth it. I'll do it. I'll cast it with my house slot. I don't use my house slot for much anyway.
So Edmont's casting Comprehend Languages?
Yeah.
That doesn't give you a sense of what language it is or where it originated, right? It just lets you
Yeah,
read
no,
it.
it just lets me read it. Yeah.
So
Just a
most of
literal
the
reading.
the glyphs around the outside of the disc, they seem to be numerical. Like if you were able to read and understand this language, it would be a list of numbers, or for some purpose. The only wording is the phrase "sire."
I'll relay that to the others.
Everybody individually, I'll say, can make me an intelligence check. Jeannie, I'll say you can make this at advantage because you have had formal engineering education.
That is a 23.
21.
got a-
12.
20.
Victor got a 9.
Okay.
And if it's a thing that 23. We'll go with 23. I
Okay.
think that's high. I could make it a 27, but that seems redundant.
So, Jeannie, you make two realizations. The first is about the construction itself. It's not just the base of a post. It looks like there was a mechanism in place here. A second disc, which could be slotted over the first, that the post would come up through the center of. That looks like it could be rotated, even mechanically rotated, using some system that doesn't seem to be in place anymore. If that's the case, then only some of the glyphs around the outside would be visible at once.
So it's a giant dial.
Sort of, yeah. So this, figuring that much out, the second
player
realization is
Oh,
the numbers around the outside of the dial that Edmont had read off seem to be times. I guess Brendanine would have a system of numerical time like we would understand it. The rest of Darkon
Oh.
probably doesn't, but
so
We found a movie projector.
well, see, here's my thought. That now hearing that is that either it's some kind of switch track mechanism, or it's a schedule.
So, Jeannie, you think most of the numbers are timestamps. The only number that doesn't fit that same pattern is the number after the word sire. There's no point that a mechanism would cover up that part of the glyphs. And with the number included, it reads Sire 1313.
Name, maybe?
Can we dig it up? Let's dig it up.
I don't know if
I don't
that's a
wanna-
good idea.
I don't want to go much heavier on the digging with that.
Well, we know it's not occupied on this side, right?
Is there anything we can manipulate on it in its current state?
Probably the best you could do is get some crowbars under one end of it and see if you could pry it up out of the ground and take it out like Victor suggested.
That may be our only option.
Victor.
How long do we have
Sure.
until the lightning started last night?
So it's the sun's setting right about now, and you figure a couple of hours from now, into the deep into the night,
Mhm.
is when you figure you saw the storm erupting last time, approaching midnight.
Before we crowbar it out, why don't we dig a little more around it to get some more space and see if there's anything under it?
Well, you guys do that then, and I'm going to set some. I'm going to follow the perimeter,
Mhm.
and I'm going to on both sides, and I'm going to set up lights.
Victor is going to go into archaeology mode and actually excavate this thing.
Now, are you going to leave it in the earth, or is your plan to actually pry it loose?
Well, to start with, he's going to leave it in the earth and kind of dig around and see if there's see if it's stuck on the ground, if there's anything under it. Like, can he dig under it?
Yeah, you can fix a crowbar or a shovel underneath it. It would take a large amount of strength, but you've got enough people here working together, you think you could get it loose. As far as other mechanisms in the area, Jeannie's rumination was that it's just part of a broken mechanism, and you don't find any other parts laying around, not even small springs or sprockets or other bits of metal.
Yeah, that
How
sounds less than. That's kind of squishing my idea that it's a switch track. It could just be a schedule of some kind.
How would Edmont know what a switch track is?
I'm not. This is the player's theory. This isn't Edmont's theory.
Edmont flipped through his sketchbook, and there's a picture of a switch track he doesn't remember drawing.
Hey,
A question: How long does it look like this has been underground?
There's no way to tell.
No way to tell. Okay, so
It was
it's
only
not
beneath a
rusty.
few inches of topsoil, though. It was not buried very deep.
Jeannie, before you start laying lights, what if we turn it so it faces the other wall so it's a shorter distance? Your hypothesis was that this is the thing that's generating the stuff we saw last night, right?
Well, the train is coming out of this wall over here. So I
Sorry,
think
you say train?
okay, you know the object. Sorry, the object is coming
So-
out of this
Oh no,
wall over
I'm not. I mean, Eugenia might know about trains and we don't. I don't know.
I just-
There are no steam locomotives in the Ferniscan Republic.
So what you saw last night was something that appeared to come out of that wall and come towards here and disappear where this device is.
the carriages. Anyway, let me see. How many torches? I have 10 torches.
And as the sun continues to set, you have a few more minutes now, and fog begins to build up around the area where you're standing at the base of this cliff wall.
let's get
Alright, let's get out of here.
Let's get to high ground.
All right.
So, Jeannie,
So-
what are these lights you're setting up? Tell me about this.
So these are pythons that I have. These 4 are pythons that I have nailed into the ground. That
4 white
are
ones?
just the artificer candle.
Okay.
So they basically just 5 feet around them. It's light. They're candles.
Gotcha.
These are torches that I am pounding in the ground and then lighting.
Okay.
So are you trying to verify your theory that it's constrained to this section?
Well, I'm just trying to light up the, and that's all of my torches. I have no more torches.
So you've lit up the torches, and you guys climb up to the safety of the cliff. And even by the time you get up to the top of the cliff, the fog is thick enough below that the torches have been snuffed out. But in the distance, you can see the blurry glow of the 4 pythons. Is that it? We're just going to wait for the thing to roll through again?
Wasn't Ekon going to put like his light cantrip down there too?
Sure.
I think you
what
should
is
put
your
that at
goal
the-
with the light. What are you trying to do?
So we get a better view of what's going on.
I'll just put it on a rock down there.
Okay. So it's well lit, but it's still in the heavy obscurement of the fog. You guys have your evening meal. What are you guys eating? Did you even bring rations? We're just
Victor has rations.
eating Orson.
I've ration.
Yeah, same thing as the previous night. You start hearing the thunder rumbling in the earth below you. You see the lightning arc across the fog bank. And you see, now that you know what you're looking for, that it does indeed seem to converge on this point.
So while this is going on, would it be possible for Victor to throw a stone into whatever's happening?
Yeah, you can throw a stone down in the fog.
Victor's going to throw a stone in the fog while this thing is doing its thing.
Okay. The thunder of the arc of lightning does not subside as next the carriages begin to emerge. And you can't see much of anything as they go through the lit fog on this side, except they are converging on this point. Mm-hmm. And that they're moving extremely fast. And as they move, it's causing an extremely loud sound.
Jeannie is trying to focus on the carriages to see if she can kind of guess how many there are.
Okay.
And how far down are they?
How far down are they? And then how long until the carriages themselves go away?
So Jeannie and Ekon, you two are specifically looking closely, trying to get more detail about the carriages as they travel across. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right.
Victor is going to try and hit one of the carriages with a stone to see if it goes through or not.
Jeannie and Ekon. And so Victor's still throwing rocks?
He's just making his theory is that this is some sort of illusion, so he's trying to see if it actually goes through or if it hits something.
Jeannie, Ekon, and Victor then. Give me a charisma saving throw.
Oh boy.
That's 3.
A 3?
That is a
That's a 6.
A 6?
It's an 8.
An 8. You all are proficient in charisma saving throws.
Yeah.
Okay.
They all
also a 9 then.
Oh, you're right. I am. That's a 6.
Bro,
Evie
you
and
roll
Edmont.
bad. You don't have to keep rubbing it in.
You guys, I guess you're back here. Jeannie and Ekon are up at the cliff's edge, paying careful attention to these carriages. It's difficult to hear anything at the moment. Like, even if you were to speak in above average tone, you wouldn't hear it a foot away from you. That's how loud the rumbling is underneath you. Victor is just behind them, trying to hit them with rocks. And the two of you and Orson watch as almost absent-mindedly Jeannie and then Ekon and then Victor step forward off the edge of the cliff.
No.
And fall down into the fog.
Whoop! That's moving. Come on, Orson, let's go.
Yep, Orson just jumps in right after.
God damn it, Genie.
Everybody's jumping in.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, that was a fun campaign, guys.
Yeah, thanks for playing, everybody.
We all die, and then they all died.
Here
All
comes the train.
And they're all run over by a train.
And everybody was reborn as a Flumph in another campaign.
Yay.
That does sound pretty awesome, not gonna lie.
So
Yeah,
is this turned into the Dark Tower campaign?
You just all wake up.
No, because I haven't read The Dark Tower.
Ah, you should.
You know, I don't really like
watch-
Stephen King novels that much.
Watch the movie instead. You get
No,
the
the movie. No.
Oh, okay, all right, hang on.
The first sensation you all are aware of. So the first three of you don't even remember dropping off the cliff or why. You remember being fixated on the carriages as they were moving through the fog towards the light at the end. Jeannie, you were trying to count carriages. Ekon was trying to perceive more details, trying to figure out how fast they were moving. Victor's trying to take aim with stones. None of you remember stepping off the cliff. The rest of you saw your teammates stepping off and then dove in after them with very little deliberation whatsoever. Which actually ruins the entire first part of this adventure, I must say. Good job. I haven't even started to reveal the map yet, and the adventure is already partially ruined. Great.
We aim to please.
We are House Veritas. Sometimes we jump off the cliff and build our wings on the way down.
That is not the house words. The house words are the rabbits are a problem.
Well, falling off a cliff is also a problem.
The first thing you're all aware of is motion underneath you, not dissimilar to laying in the bottom of a wagon being drawn by a horse over somewhat rough terrain. But the jostling is more arrhythmic than you would expect on a horse-drawn carriage. And the sound underneath you as well is somewhat muffled, but pervasive, droning, and very, very rhythmical. Clack, 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 repeatedly. You all become aware of that motion because it's the most pervasive thing in your world. And one by one, you find yourselves laying in what looks to be a dingy surgery, a very narrow room.
Genie, make it stop.
None of you feel
music.
None of you feel injured. None of you. There's no sense of being having been impacted. But one by one, you wake up in this room. McDohl, what music did you cue up? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Do 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 do.
Yeah.
So to be clear, Edmont, do you know how to suplex?
I could probably kit bash it in a hurry.
Okay. Just
So-
making sure.
Evie, Edmont, and Victor, you're the first three to sit up in bed. And yeah, it is a dingy surgery of some kind. You're laying on beds underneath soiled linens. Nearby, some of the other beds have occupants that have yet to wake up. Some of them are moving. Other beds, like the one next to Victor here, is empty but has soiled and bloody rags strewn across it. At either end of the room are doors. Single, very narrow doors, much narrower than you would expect. And along the sides, each side of the room, are very dingy glass windows set into the side in like a circular porthole. And there are curtains, dirty curtains drawn across all of them.
Edmont sits up, pulls the curtains aside.
And what you see outside is a nighttime landscape running by you. Much, much faster than you've ever traveled across land before.
We're moving very quickly.
Ekon, wake up. Get up, Ekon. Victor tries the door.
Evie immediately goes to her sister.
And Victor, it takes you a few moments. You've never seen a handle or a mechanism like this. It looks like the door neither swings inward or outward. Rather, it looks like you would put your fingers into this small metal inset halfway up the door frame, and it looks like it will slide like a panel to your right.
Victor is very amazed as he attempts to slide the door open. It does what?
And then the panel slides open, and suddenly the noise from outside whooshes inward, and you feel cold air rushing in as the wagon you're riding is moving forward at an accelerated rate. About 10 feet in front of you, you see the outside of another room. And it looks like a similar panel door. But in between, there's a connection between your wagon and the one in front of you. And the jostling and the motion of the two are not symmetrical. And there's this precarious looking narrow footing above the connection from one to the other. And for a moment, you feel yourself losing balance as the floor beneath you is moving around and you're not acclimated to it. It's not dissimilar to like getting aboard a boat and not having your sea legs yet.
Genie, where are we?
Jeannie feels the cold air. She sits up. Close the window. What?
Victor slams the door shut.
You can't slam the door shut. It's not satisfying at all. Like you pull the panel as fast as you can, and it just kind of clicks into place.
Are we in
Everyone all right?
goddamn contraption?
Where are we?
So aside from us, what other people are in this room?
No other people are in this room, but you see evidence of some people. You see some of these beds have bloody rags on them. You see two of these small carts that have will look like used surgical instruments, scalpels and forceps and things.
Victor will check himself once he notices all this bloody instrumentation.
You guys only have the
Fresh.
injuries that you came in with. You didn't suffer any injuries from jumping onto the train.
How fresh is the blood?
Make a medicine check.
Oh, well. Ekon, how fresh is this blood?
That's a medicine of 14.
Can't be more than a day old. The blood has started
Yesterday, maybe?
The blood has started to turn dry, but it hasn't yet turned like hard and brown.
Victor's gonna check this other door.
Did I see that right, Victor? Is there another one of these things behind us that's like hitched into this one mechanically?
Yes, Jeannie can maybe tell us what the hell this is, but where are we and how do we get here and where's the cliff?
And Victor, at this end of the room, there's another one of these panel doors.
He slides it open.
And this time, the cold air does not rush into the room because it's moving in the opposite direction. But yeah, looking behind you, the same thing. About 15 feet away is another wagon connected precariously through this narrow walkway.
Hey guys, this way seems
space
safer.
Is there space under the beds?
Probably not much. I mean, if you wanted to, you could squeeze down underneath one if you like. But they're just basically wooden slats in the side of the side of the room.
And then how high up is the ceiling?
Fairly low, actually. Like, not higher than maybe 10 feet.
All right.
Yeah, I can all just do a quick once over of the cabin, like just looking under the beds and getting a good look at the ceiling, see if there's anything that we might have missed aside from these doors.
Yeah, you're alone in the room as far as you can tell. The floor itself is made up of floorboards, and the rattling is pervasive everywhere you look. The floor itself, rather than just having been hammered into place like you would see in like a wooden cabin or something, it's been lacquered. So nobody would have to come through and hammer down the nails every day that have been shaken loose by the jostling of the room. But yeah, the room has definitely been used as a surgery, and from the looks of it, fairly recently.
Well, this is certainly unsettling.
Jeannie's going to take a copper piece out and flick it in the air and towards Evie and tell her to call it. Heads or tails?
Tails.
All right. Heads. All right. And she's going to open this door.
Okay.
So Victor is controlling out the other side while you're doing this.
Wait, what did we just do?
Ooh,
Slow
with
down.
those doors open, I'm assuming there's a pretty terrible current of air coming through.
Not as terrible as you would expect, because the wagon in front of you acts as a windshield for the wagons behind.
Okay.
But yeah, there is a noticeable amount of cold air flooding into the room, but not enough to like knock you off your feet.
Jeannie, it's safer this way.
Is it light outside?
No,
Looking out these windows?
It's dark, and looking out the window. And I mean, first you have to take like your cuff, and you've got to scrape some of the dinge and grime off of the glass. But it's nighttime, and it looks like you're passing through a semi-forested countryside.
It cast light on my shield.
There is. Okay.
What is
There's
this? Some kind of high-speed
There's-
carriage?
How stable
Something-
is the backside? If the front side was rocking pretty scarily, is the backside just as bad?
Oh yeah, absolutely, just from the other direction. What did Edmont have?
Can we slow down for a minute and stay together? Because I don't like the idea of us going in either direction. It's either follow Victor or we follow Jeannie.
It's safer this way.
You all
Based on what,
weren't
Victor?
supposed to jump on the train at the same time. You were supposed to start the adventures already split up. You bastards.
I mean, the train is moving fast. Like, in 6 or 7 seconds, man, everybody should be like 5 or 6 cars apart. So that's your fault.
Quick action on the part of the party that was not enticed by the train.
It's safer this way because there's not as much wind.
I mean, did you expect me to watch my sister, like, jump
I'm not,
off a cliff
I'm
and
not
not follow
jumping.
her?
I'm not jumping off. I'm looking out the window. I'm looking out the door.
So yeah, it doesn't look like either direction is safer than the other. Because it looks like all of these wagons are connected together and being dragged forward. It's just stupidly fast.
Edmont,
What?
can you lean out there and like look along the side and see how many of these things there are? It looks like there's one in front of us and behind us. I'm a little afraid I'd slip if I tried, but...
Yeah, give me your arm. Actually, Orson, give me your arm. Sorry, brother, but
We're not
yeah,
gonna-
can I open
no,
up this?
The windows
Can
in
I
this
open this
car in the carriage do not look like they can be opened.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you just step out, like, here and lean out in front of it.
We can tie a rope to you.
Would that just drag him terribly if you fell?
Not
Yeah.
not if there's no slack.
So you're having
Ekon's trying
Orson
to work out the physics of that.
You're having Orson grab your arm and you're stepping out onto. There is a connecting path, like it's clearly meant to be walked on between this carriage and the one in front of you. But what you want to do is lean out and see if you can look alongside the carriages.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Dark Vision on myself.
Okay, and stretching out in either direction are an uncountable number. Like they just disappear to the edge of your dark vision in both directions. All of them moving the same speed, all in a line. So we're talking. I mean, your dark vision's what, 60 feet?
60 feet, yeah. So I could probably only get about that far, fore and aft.
So yeah, you can see a carriage on either side of you. And then beyond that, it looks like they're just stretching out into darkness.
Is there anywhere inside the car to tie a rope to?
You could loop one along, like the legs of one of these beds.
Okay, so Victor will loop one around the leg and a back, and then tie the other into his waist.
Good.
I mean, he said there's walkways. That doesn't necessarily mean they're...
They look scary, though.
They do look scary.
You have to understand, Victor has never seen a train before. This is new to him. He's not going to risk falling off.
Yeah, and Ekon will clean off a window on this side and see if the landscape looks the same out there.
It does.
So,
Is it a moon or anything?
On the south side of the train where you're looking, yes, it's a little bit more. The landscape isn't illuminated, but you can see a moon in the sky, and it's very clear from looking at it. It is not Darkon's moon. It is larger. It is out of phase with what it should be.
Genie?
Are we back in Vernisco?
No, it's not Fernisco's moon either.
That's not any moon I recognize.
Nor I.
So, Victor, you've looped some rope around one of these beds, and you're heading over to this other panel?
Yeah.
What phase is this moon, pray tell, Brick Road? This is relevant to me.
A full moon.
Oh no.
Bear with me 1 second.
Edmont goes extremely pale when he sees that full moon.
I mean, you don't feel like the change coming on you, if that's what you're worried about.
Yeah, no, but Edmont still is worried about it.
All right. So, yeah, Victor, you can travel out on the walkway and just about 15 feet away. Maybe not even that much, but there's another panel door on the other side.
Edmont, what do you think? You're the rational one?
I'm gonna be sick. Hang on.
Open the door!
Victor slides open the door.
Okay.
The movement of the train, I think.
Just remember, guys, Okay, we're over there. Wow.
Looking into this next much smaller room than the one you were in before. This time, instead of beds on either side, there are these. They look like they would be nice, comfortable, lavish cushioned seats along the seats and along the backs, but they're pressed deeply under the weight of many, many buttocks, and they're in bad shape. And a couple, maybe 15 feet into the room, you see another panel door.
There's another door here.
And when he calls back
how
from
much
where his
rope do you
position,
have?
when he calls back from his position here into your room, he's yelling over the sound of the carriages moving.
It's 50 feet of rope.
I'll untie the rope so Victor isn't stuck, tethered, and I'll jump across after Genie's through.
Okay.
I think all that time tumbling really paid off there, Edmont.
I'm gonna be sick.
Victor
you
will
don't-
wait for
You
everyone
don't
to get
look
inside.
at all
Yeah.
furry. That's a good thing, right?
What?
I suppose. It looks like it's high tide out there.
Maybe
Wait, what?
Maybe you're only linked to the moon of Darkon. Maybe this other weird moon doesn't do anything to you.
And Edmont, you're the last one that comes into this room, and as you do, looking back, you see the panel door on the previous carriage closed shut.
That's convenient, I suppose.
What? You untied by rope.
Well,
Well,
so
why?
here's the
Why
thing.
did you do that?
Because if you had fallen, it would have just dragged your corpse along the thing, and it would have hurt even more. When you died.
He was
I
dead.
hope this is linear. Victor will open the other door.
Okay.
Like, you decided you want to be in the lead here, Victor, so open the doors.
Bear with me one moment.
Need to get you some bear spray.
Those magic bear rocks.
Coming into this room, it's an empty room, empty space. There's no benches or anything. You do see another panel door, another 15 feet or so in. You see 4 very elegantly dressed, extremely dead people. They're standing near to the windows, a pair of them here, 2 men on the north side, a man and a woman on the south side. And they're smoking. One of the men has a long curly pipe. The rest are smoking cigarillos. And they are very dead. Their faces are rotting flesh in the parts that still have flesh. Their hair is just sporadic mats on their decaying scalps. And the smell of this room, something about the sweet smell of their tobacco and then the decaying flesh is just wretched. And as Victor enters, all of them turn to look.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
And one of them, the closest one, the man with the curly pipe here, turns and says, "Ugh, we've picked up more rabble." And when he speaks, he's not speaking a language you've ever heard in your life. Nonetheless, you understood what he said. The man next to him takes a puff on his cigarillo and he agrees. Pay them no mind. They're just passing through. And they turn back to their private conversation.
Victor will give Eugenia a curious look and continue forward.
Eugenia is just going to... So, they're all men?
3 of them are men. 1 of them is a woman wearing a fancy dress.
Is there an exit to this room?
There is. Where Victor is standing, there's another panel door.
Eugenia
Will
will
open the panel.
ask the woman, so how long have you been dead?
She turns, and you can't tell the expression on her face is because she doesn't really have a face anymore. Just the underlying skull. I beg your pardon.
I mean, the no
Jeannie, don't
face thing?
The man standing next to her turns to face Jeannie as well, and he shakes his head. Nowhere to run. The one behind you agrees. Nowhere to hide. Then the man next to him, no escape for you. Let's roll some initiative.
Did you say roll initiative?
I sure did.
He just had the talk.
I have to shuffle a book around here.
Thank you, Brick Road.
Thank you.
Right.
What are you thanking me
You
for?
make me so happy. You make me so happy sometimes.
Don't understand.
This is
I
that.
think this is actually my fault, for what it's worth, and I am not at all sorry.
This isn't my birthday. You didn't have to get me anything nice.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So somebody has Phoenix Town, right?
Yep, left them all at the house. Sorry.
Okay.
And I actually don't get the reference, and I don't understand why you're happy. Maybe explain it to me on the break, because I'm stupid.
He is very stupid.
You can't be this stupid.
You cannot be this stupid.
Well, I don't know. All right,
Is that
who's
already?
first?
Got 18 at Victor with Genie on deck.
So Victor, Jeannie is conversing with the woman, the dead woman in the room, and when she points out that the woman is dead, the three men shake their heads and agree. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, no escape for you. And yeah, it looks like they're going to attack. But you are... I'm going to say nobody's surprised because you guys have literally fought undead zombies before.
We've also played this game.
I mean, so if it was this game, we should start to run at this point. But I think Victor is tired of running. He's more disappointed than surprised. Like, they just had to go and attack.
Don't worry, I've got aura bolts.
Yeah.
So many aura bolts.
I can throw shuriken.
Okay,
Well-
so it's Victor's turn. What are you doing?
Victor is gonna...
Yet we're short of samurai.
Yeah, we're just gonna have fiery knives instead.
Okay.
Does an 11 hit?
An 11 does hit. Which one are you attacking?
I guess the guy closest to this guy up top.
This one back here? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're attacking with your melee attack then, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I can throw it, but he's only like 3 feet away, so. And that would be 18 points of fire damage, to which he'd be vulnerable.
Okay. I have to do some calculations.
And then Victor says, "We're not here to hide."
I mean, don't say anything to that one because you just burned him. Well, not burn him alive, but you know.
You burned him.
Yeah, discharging
Dead?
the fire of your
Undead.
knife. The thing burns to a crisp. And the last thing that burns is the last wisp of his cigarillo.
Got Genie with Edmont on deck.
Genie is going to. Let me see. Does the female zombie look like she's going to attack me?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Is she wearing any metal?
She's wearing a fancy dress.
Okay. I'm going to shock and grasp her. That's why I was asking.
Okay.
For the purposes of advantage. That is a 21 to hit.
That does hit.
And I need D8. 1, 2, 3 D8. And please do enjoy 17 electrical damage.
Okay.
And that's the end of my turn.
Okay, and she is bloodied as you reach out, grasp her by the neck, and throw some electricity into her. It's like, here, how do you like it?
And she can't
Got,
take any. She has no reaction.
Okay.
Got Edmont with Evie on deck.
Edmont, is that panel door open or closed?
It's open.
Okay, so you're leaving it open.
Yep. But once I hear the sounds of aggression, Edmont's going to come running into the room here. And it's very crowded.
Oh, yeah.
Ow.
It's going to be a characteristic of this whole adventure.
Gasp. 5, 6, 7. That would make me leave threat ranges, and that really sucks. This is the woman, yes?
No, that's a man. The woman's down by
okay.
Genie.
No, the woman's been electrocuted. It's next to Genie.
Okay, then. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take a swing at him.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what the AC of Zambo is, but I'm pretty sure it's not 8.
That
Is
hits.
an 8 hit?
It does.
Hey!
That's AC of Zambo.
I
We
literally
found their
cannot miss
AC.
these- I literally cannot miss these things unless I roll a 1.
That's good news. 'Cause
8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Because you roll like crap. Okay.
Second attack. That's going to be 9 points of bludgeoning damage from the second hit.
And it is bloodied.
Key point dodge.
Okay. You're staying put there?
Yep.
All right, who's next?
Got Evie with zombies on deck.
Evie, fix it.
I think I'm gonna try to kill this one so that we get a little less damage incoming.
Very good.
That's a natural 20.
Woo.
So I'm pretty sure whatever I roll, he's dead.
I mean, he's already dead. He started that way.
Okay, well,
Unalive it.
Contra arrow shell.
how does 28 piercing damage work for you?
Yeah, that's... Oh, actually, hold on. Yeah, that'll do it.
Are these?
And it
Oh, I forgot about
crumbles
the.
to dust.
I forgot about the zombo move.
And moving or staying put?
Um,
You are leaving a threat range if you move. So we got your boy here.
oh, I can disengage and move right here.
You sure can. Is
These things don't. Yeah, I think we're okay.
that what you're doing?
Got zombie with Ekon on deck.
Okay. Can I get everybody? I can get everybody but Edmont, I think. Or I can get Edmont twice and not get Orson.
Decisions.
Well, Orson hasn't done anything to these guys yet.
Getting Edmont twice sounds like a good call in my objective opinion.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So let's get Edmont, Evie, Ekon, and Genie. If you would please make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, I rolled another 20.
I rolled a 2. So that's a 4.
10.
Looking for a 12.
I don't think absorb elements will cover anything
10.
you're doing.
So it's going to be 11 points of poison damage, which you can cut in half if you pass the save. And now I need Evie, Ekon, Genie, and Victor to make me that same saving throw, please.
Turn sucks.
Okay.
That's a pass.
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 That's a pass.
That's another 11 points of poison damage, which you can cut in half if you pass the saving throw. As each one of these zombies takes a long drag on their smoke and then belches forth a poisonous fog. This one enveloping one half of the room, containing Evie, Ekon, and Genie, and this one enveloping the other half of the room, also containing Evie, Ekon, and Genie. Only Orson is unaffected.
Is that it for them?
That's it for them. Oh, by the way, familiars are also taking damage from that.
Oh. Yeah, there's no more familiars. They got Victor, right?
Oh, yeah. One of them did. Only Orson came away from that undamaged.
I need both of them to make me a DC 15 Constitution saving throw as Ekon raises his holy symbol and holy light infuses the area around him.
2 fails.
Okay. Gonna be 4 radiant damage to both of them.
Okay.
And as a bonus action, I don't really have any good bonus action. That's the end of my turn. We've got Orson with Victor on deck.
Ekon. You engulf them in the radiant light of air, which you've done to undead creatures pretty much every single session of this whole campaign, as far as I recall. The light burns them.
Putting the undead in the game.
The light burns them badly. Neither of them drop from the force, but The carriage itself seems, I guess breathe is a good word. As though it feels like the building you're standing in sucks in a great breath and holds it, and then exhales it in pain. As though the walls and floor you can feel contracting in response to the radiant damage going off inside of it. Who's next?
Person.
Yeah, Orson with Victor.
All right. First spear strike is a 18.
18 will hit.
Second spear strike is a 13.
Also hits.
All right.
Is Orson also in this situation where he cannot miss these things except on a 1?
Yes. Because he's got plus 10 to hit.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Good old
The
Sanders.
first hit is 10 damage. The second hit is 7.
Okay.
And then the butt.
Well, hold on. That might kill it.
Okay.
It does. This one is dead.
Okay. Then he takes a step forward, and the butt is a 18 to hit
That does hit.
for 9 points of damage.
And that one is still alive. As Orson whacks, the woman is the only one left, whacks the woman with the butt. Hearing bones crack and flesh give way, but the thing refuses to drop.
Huh?
Good old zombies.
I can fix that.
Moving or staying put?
Oh, Orson's done.
Okay, who's next?
Victor.
We've got Victor with Genie on deck.
This zombie is so unalivant.
Victor sighs, smiles at the zombie, and says, "Forgive my cousin. You do have a pretty face." And then he stabs her in it.
No, it's actually quite ugly.
Listen,
He's being polite.
this is a 16 hit.
Oh, yes.
In the name of politeness, please enjoy 25 points of fire damage.
Ooh. And that's enough. She burns away, unable to respond. And you're left just for a moment with just the faint heaving of the carriage and the ever-present clack, 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 clack beneath your feet.
Genie, don't acknowledge the zombies.
Touch. Genie bends down and she goes, and she says, "Give me about 10 minutes." And she casts. Excuse me, I didn't mean to grab the lens of truth.
Edmont, close that door.
I'm going to target the actual carriage,
Mhm.
and I'm going to spend 10 minutes to cast Identify on it.
And all of you are giving her the time to do this?
Yeah, somebody
Now,
close
one
that
thing
door.
I'd like to do before she does that is open the door to the front and get some air this room out, because I don't want to hang out in this room for 10 minutes. It
Yeah.
stinks.
Smoke.
So open this door here?
I mean,
Well, the
yeah,
other-
that's my
The other,
thought.
the other two doors were already open.
Yeah, Edmund left the back door open and the door into the
Yeah.
previous room. Are
Right,
open.
so if
We
we
don't
open
know
the
what's
front
in
door
this
and
room.
whatever,
Opening this
Right.
door, you see a room very
we can't
similar.
smell this bad.
Depends on what's in there to kill us.
Opening the door to this room,
Do we see any other zombies?
you do.
Close the door.
You see 3 more zombies. A dead woman and her 2 dead children. And as Victor, you open the door, one of the children, with this mop of grisly-looking pigtails coming off the back of her skull, points at the door excitedly. You hear her say, "Who's that, Mommy?" And as you're closing the door, a woman zombie cranes her head around to get a look at you. So now the door's closed.
Okay.
I'm not hanging out in this room for 10 minutes. I'm going to go back here where there's some air.
Okay.
I mean, I could do this anywhere. I could do it in here. I'm targeting the.
There are chairs in here.
So you're going to spend 10 minutes and cast Identify on the train.
carriage itself, yeah. Or the train itself. I don't know if it would target just the carriage or the whole train.
2 minutes into Janie's ritual, as she draws her chalk outline out on the ground or whatever she needs to do, this door opens again, and 2 more zombies come in. 2 men this time. Nonchalantly walk over towards one of the windows and light up their smokes. They begin conversing.
Can we shut this door?
Do you shut it?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's not insult them this time. And I'll look at Genie. And I know she can't respond because she has to chant the words of the spell, but...
If the door
Genie!
opens, then I'm going to stab
Yeah.
it.
Make me a charisma saving throw and roll high.
Oh, yeah. That's a 1.
Okay. So, part of the identify ritual is you have to be in physical contact with the device. So I picture Genie like sitting cross-legged on the floor, sprawling her hands out with her eyes closed, like trying to tune to the magical energies of the carriage. And all of you watch as something seizes her. Her muscles tense up, and her back and neck arch. The spell goes off after 10 minutes, Genie.
Uh-huh.
And the identify spell works, perhaps a little too well. And it speaks to you in your mind's eye in the same language the zombies were speaking that you nonetheless understand. It says, I am the Sire 1313, and we are behind schedule.
Okay. Is this like a two-way communication thing?
You have
I
no
asked it?
idea. You
I just asked it that.
Oh, you asked. Okay, you're
Yeah.
asking it. Is this a two-way
Yeah.
communication thing?
Yeah.
So you say to the thing, "Is this a two-way communication thing?" Or the rest of you in the room just witness her tongue and mouth is opening, and just kind of slack jaw, you drool and foam are starting to pent up along either side of her tongue. The thing responds, I have no time to answer foolish questions. We are behind schedule. Are your accommodations to your liking?
No.
If you have not eaten recently, you may report to the dining cart. There will be food made available. You need only ask one of the railway's attendees. Trouble me no more with the pittance of your consciousness. And then all at once, Genie, all of her muscles go slack, and she exhales, falls forward onto the floor, breathing heavily.
That was supposed to happen, right, guys?
I'm just gonna lay here and take a nap now.
Do you say that?
Bad idea.
You can't take a nap here. It's not safe.
Like taking a
Did
nap
you-
here would be an exceptionally bad idea.
Genie,
do,
are you
you,
okay?
No.
do you need medical attention?
No.
Do you need spiritual attention?
Probably. The train is alive.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, well, maybe as alive as the men and the women in that last room. I didn't really like when I called down Air's light.
Evie, the door
Yes?
behind you opens up.
Oh,
One of the zombie
Victor
men
stabs it.
stabs it. All right, roll initiative.
Okay, never mind. We could maybe get an answer, but no, it's
Too late.
It's
Too late for that.
fucking full trigger cappy, freaking.
Serenity all over again.
So who's at the top of the
Can we-
order?
Can we not have them anymore, please? Can we have no more?
Which of these do they have different initiatives, or one of these from the previous combat?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, they're slightly
Yeah,
higher
I-
initiative this time.
I have an 18.
You got Victor with Evie on deck.
So the door opens, and the man speaks, but he doesn't get very far into his sentence. Perhaps we could trouble you to settle a bet. God, good lord! And Victor's already stabbing him. So Victor, go ahead.
It'd be a 20.
I'll be right back.
20 will hit.
I'm assuming that my fire still active on the dagger?
I think it's been more than a minute.
Yeah, it's been more than... Because, yeah, Jeannie spent 10 minutes doing that ritual, so your dagger's back to normal.
No, I guess we'll see what a silent dagger does. Does 26 points of psionic damage do anything?
Well, you don't get your sneak attack on this roll.
Oh, he's not surprised?
You don't automatically
Yeah,
get sneak attack
on
against surprised opponents.
I thought somebody was close to it, but yeah, you're right.
Nope. Yeah, you don't have any source of...
Normally you have my
advantage.
familiar on your shoulder, but
Yeah, that'd be 5 points of psionic damage.
Okay. And are you moving or staying put?
He's gonna stay put. Well,
All
that's
right.
his first attack. The thing is still up?
Oh, yeah. Offhand attack?
Yep. Does the 13 hit?
Yes, it does. Good old zombies.
Well, that's only going to be 2 points psionic damage.
Okay. So, Evie is surprised. The zombies are surprised. Jeannie is surprised. Ekon is surprised. Orson is surprised. Edmont is surprised. When we come back from break, we'll see if Victor can finally kill the zombie who, and I say this a lot, but I actually mean it this time, didn't do anything
Nothing
wrong.